Inspirational Quotes on Career, Balance, and the Pursuit of Happiness by Joe Pastore. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. The Dalai Lama. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. John Lennon. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Benjamin Franklin. A friend is one that knows who you are, understands where you've been, accepts what you've become, and still gently allows you to grow. William Shakespeare. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. Eleanor Roosevelt. A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. David Brinkley. Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly. John F. Kennedy. I can't give you a surefire formula for success, but I can give you a formula for failure. Try to please everybody all the time. Herbert Bayard Swope. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. Would you like me to give you a formula for success? It's quite simple, really. Double your rate of failure. You're thinking of failure as an enemy of success, but it isn't at all. You can be discouraged by failure, or you can learn from it. So go ahead, make mistakes, make all you can, because remember, that's where you'll find success. Thomas J. Watson. It's hard to fail, but worse to have never tried to succeed. Theodore Roosevelt. I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me, and I didn't have the heart to let him down. Abraham Lincoln. Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. Lucille Ball. Let us always meet each other with a smile, for the smile is the beginning of love. Mother Teresa. Challenges are what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Joshua Marine. When one door closes, another one opens, but often we look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one that opened for us. Alexander Graham Bell. Love is a serious mental disease. Plato. Our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at things in life that don't really matter. Francis Chan. Never leave until tomorrow what you could do today. Benjamin Franklin. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. Leonardo da Vinci. Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more. H. Jackson Brown, Jr. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Anthony Robbins. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. J.K. Rowling. Only put off until tomorrow what you're willing to die and left have undone. Pablo Picasso. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas Edison. If you want to be happy, be Leo Tolstoy. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Elie Wiesel. Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far. Theodore Roosevelt. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Charles Swindoll. The good news is At the moment you decide that what you know is more important than what you've been taught to believe, you've shifted gears in your quest for abundance. Success comes from within, not from without. Elie Wiesel. Women are like tea bags. We never know our true strength until we're in hot water. Eleanor Roosevelt. Intellectuals solve problems. Geniuses prevent them. Albert Einstein. Every great dream begins with the dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. Harriet Tubman. It's impossible to escape the impression that people commonly use false standards of measurement, that they seek power, success, and wealth for themselves and admire them in others, and that they underestimate the value of what's true in life. Sigmund Freud. A friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself. Jim Morrison. All that we see and seem is but a dream within a dream. Edgar Allan Poe. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Babe Ruth. Live in the sunshine, swim the sea, drink the wild air. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Life is trying things to see if they work. Ray Bradbury. Success in business requires training, discipline, and hard work. But if you're not frightened by these things, the opportunities are just as great today as they ever were. David Rockefeller. The number one reason people fail in life is because they listen to their friends, family, and neighbors. Napoleon Hill. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Steve Jobs. Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom. George Patton. You will encounter many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated. Maya Angelou. May you live all the days of your life. Jonathan Swift. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Robert Frost. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. You're not obligated to win. You're obligated to keep trying, to be the best you can do every day. Jason Mraz. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life, and without flavor. Eleanor Roosevelt. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Jim Rohn. The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. Ayn Rand. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Forrest Gump. The 3 great essentials to achieve anything worthwhile are first, hard work, second, stick-to-itiveness, and third, common sense. Thomas Edison. The successful warrior is an average man with laser-like focus. Bruce Lee. When you ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing to lose. Bob Dylan. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, which is why we call it the present. Bill Keane. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. George Bernard Shaw. The whole secret of successful life is to find out what one's destined to do, and then do it. Henry Ford. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Wayne Gretzky. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. Hans Christian Andersen. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Albert Einstein. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Oscar Wilde. The big lesson in life, baby, is never to be scared of anyone or anything. Frank Sinatra. To love and be loved is to feel the sun from both sides. David Viscott. Love is an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. Robert Frost. Those who believe in telekinetics, raise my hand. Kurt Vonnegut. I only regret that I have but one life to give for my country. Nathan Hale. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. Stephen Hawking. Better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. St. Augustine. Every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up. Pablo Picasso. Have no fear of perfection, for you'll never reach it. Salvador Dali. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Soren Kierkegaard. Curiosity about life in all its aspects, I think, is the secret of a great creative people. Leo Burnett. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Oscar Wilde. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last, you create what you will. George Bernard Shaw. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Lao Tzu. Imagination was given to a man to compensate him for what he's not, and a sense of humor was provided to console him for what he is. Oscar Wilde. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Spread love everywhere you go. First of all, in your own house. Give love to your children, to your wife or husband, to a next-door neighbor. Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness. Kindness in your face, kindness in your eyes, kindness in your smile, kindness in your warm greeting. Mother Teresa. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost. In order to write about life, you must first live it. Ernest Hemingway. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there's no path, and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Keep your face to the sunshine, and you can never see the shadow. Helen Keller. The best way out is always through. Robert Frost. The dream crossed twilight between birth and dying. T.S. Eliot. People are just as happy as they make up their minds to be. Abraham Lincoln. Creativity is just connecting things. When you ask creative people how they did something, they feel a little guilty because they didn't really do it. They just saw something. It seemed obvious to them after a while. Steve Jobs. Sing like no one is listening. Love like you've never been hurt. Dance like nobody's watching and live like it's heaven on earth. Mark Twain. The power of imagination makes us infinite. John Muir. Originality is nothing but judicious imitation. Voltaire. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Will Rogers. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because the reality is finally better than your dreams. Dr. Seuss. I'm selfish, impatient, and a little insecure. I make mistakes, I'm out of control, and at times hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. Marilyn Monroe. Get busy living or get busy dying. Stephen King. The first step towards success is taken when you refuse to be a captive of the environment in which you first find yourself. Mark Cain. Recession is when a neighbor loses his job. Depression is when you lose yours. Ronald Reagan. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did. Mark Twain. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. Albert Einstein. Success is just a war of attrition. Sure, there's an element of talent you should probably possess, but if you stick around long enough, eventually something's going to happen. Dax Shepard. A man is a success if he gets up in the morning and goes to bed at night, and in between, he does what he wants to do. Bob Dylan. If you aren't going all the way, why go at all? Joe Namath. Once you realize that everything around you is created by people who are no smarter than you are, you'll never be the same. Steve Jobs. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. It's always impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Walt Disney. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I know where I'm going, and I know the trust, and I don't have to be what you want me to be. I'm free to be what I want. Muhammad Ali. I'd rather attempt to do something great and fail than attempt to do nothing and succeed. Robert Schuller. Opportunity does not knock. It presents itself when you beat down the door. Kyle Chandler. Everything you can imagine is real. Pablo Picasso. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Warren Buffett. Someday is not a day of the week. Denise Brennan Nelson. I have nothing to offer but blood, sweat, toil, and tears. Winston Churchill. Don't count the days. Make the days count. Muhammad Ali. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. Accept the challenge so that you can feel the exhilaration of victory. George Patton. When you cease to dream, you cease to live. Malcolm Forbes. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Alan Kay. You can never quit. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Vince Lombardi. Big shots are only little shots that keep on shooting. Christopher Morley. Well done is better than well said. Benjamin Franklin. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me. Carol Burnett. You can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club. Jack London. Perseverance is failing 19 times and succeeding the 20th. Julie Andrews. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. Jim Rohn. The more things you do, the more you can do. Lucille Ball. Do what you love, and the money will follow. Marcia Sinitar. If you don't ask, you don't get. Stevie Wonder. I'm not afraid. I was born to do this. Joan of Arc. Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. Albert Einstein. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something. But I can't accept not trying. Michael Jordan. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are all in harmony. Mahatma Gandhi. The more you dream, the farther you'll get. Michael Phelps. You must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. Michael Jordan. The more I want to get something done, the less I call it work. Richard Bach. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Confucius. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. Andrew Carnegie. To avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. L. Ron Hubbard. The two most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day that you find out why. Mark Twain. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs. Be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. Omar Khayyam. Dream big and dare to fail. Norman Vaughn. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Dr. Robert Schuller. There is only one success, to be able to spend your life in your own way. Christopher Morley. Believe and act if it were impossible to fail. Charles Kettering. Every strike brings me closer to the next home run. Babe Ruth. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that's guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Mark Zuckerberg. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you've imagined. Henry David Thoreau. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. Never let your memories be greater than your dreams. Doug Ivester. If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. Elon Musk. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. Howard Ruff. Don't wait. The time will never be just right. Napoleon Hill. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Vince Lombardi. Try not. Do or do not. There is no try. Yoda. Everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. George Adair. A year from now, you may wish you'd started today. Karen Lamb. Change your thoughts and you change the world. Norman Vincent Peale. It's never too late to be what you might have been. George Eliot. There are three kinds of people in the world: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. Which are you, and which do you want to be? Joe Pastore.